Good evening. You have found the Callantyr internal decision meeting for February of 2019. I am Dorcas Whitecap. I am the internal submissions herald for Callantyr, that is to say, IS Herald. And this is this is my shtick. For the next few months, I am looking for a successor, in fact, because it's been about 2 years that I've been in this office. Gottfried, would you like to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. I am Gottfried von Schwaben. I am the Saker Herald, which is the external submissions herald for Callantyr.
And Master Gawain.
I'm Gawain of Miskbridge. I am a herald at large, if you will. My title is Green Anchor Herald, and I mostly do commentary.
Well, all right then. So it's a sparsely attended meeting tonight, which is not a bad thing. We've got 29 items to get through, 29 decisions to make rather than. So let us just jump right in. We have a resubmission of the device of Anastasia de Carrara, Girany, Ghouls, and Ore, a mullet of 8 counterchanged within a bordure sable. Commentary seems to suggest that this contravenes SENA A3F4 that says the counterchanging of a single charge, like this mullet here, over a field division with more than 4 sections must be attested to be allowed.
Well, we have Sophia Habicht and it looks like Modar Redhawk that are coming up with many examples of the counter changing, and especially with the D. Aliprandus.
Mm-hmm.
You've got both.
I see that.
Yep. Honori, absolutely. Moiolis, Montegarti. That's at least 3 right there well, Montegarti maybe because they're going to say it's just 2, but the other 3 absolutely multiples.
So I guess what I'll do, because I do have time, is I will go ahead and pull up the pictures from the links and organize it into an IAP and let us forward this with an IAP.
I have matter of fact, I would think that would work.
Gawain, are you in agreement?
Yeah, that sounds like the best thing to do.
All right, so that is what I have written down. So let it be written, so let it be done by me. I'm willing to take this on. Moving along, a resubmission of a badge for Anna Plantain. Fieldless in Saltier, a banana leaf vert and a banana ore. Her original badge had a hand of bananas rather than a single one, and they just couldn't cope with that, so we're sending it up again with a single banana.
Looks less like a plantain than it does a banana.
Yes. Well, so she goes by the nickname Anna Banana.
Oh, dear.
So she says, can I register the name Anna Banana? It's like, well, no, but we found plantain and we said, let's just pronounce that plantain, and she likes it.
Okay.
So, all right. So we'll just send that up as is.
Yeah. I mean, it's exactly as was suggested that they do if they do a resubmit. Ta-da.
Yeah. All right. Item number 3, a new name for Kane Belmont. We have a English surname used as given name, and then we have another English surname. So they're acceptable batches from Family Search.
I can't help wondering if Cain was not used in period as a given name for biblical reasons. We certainly can use the given name as or surname as given name loophole, and it won't cause any problems with the rules.
Yeah.
And since the surname documentation is fine.
Yep. So my notes say we're just gonna send that one up.
Mhm.
All right. Item number 4, a new name for Catherine Baker. And this is documented from a single entry in Family Search. So you just can't get more period than that, can you?
And indeed.
The question that I had, and maybe it made me squick even on the last external, and I'm seeing it more now. Does this cause a problem when we document a person's name wholesale out of one entry? Because it would. I don't know if it's just an anachronism of my own or whatnot, to where I thought that at some point we couldn't be a specific person from period. We had to be somebody, and name elements came from different directions. Now, granted, Catherine Baker is not nowhere near
she's not important enough
like Henry Tudor or something like that.
That's the way I've always interpreted it.
Okay.
Yeah. No, you can't use your entire legal name because the SCA wants there to be at least a little bit of separation between you and your, between your legal and your persona. But there was never any reason. The only thing is, if Catherine Baker were somebody who was important. I had somebody one time who said, "Oh, I want to register Catherine de Medici." It's like, you can't. No, I don't mean the Catherine de Medici. Catherine was a very common name, and de Medicis were a big family. I just want to pretend to be like a minor cousin. It's like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. All right.
Moving right along, I will mark that to simply send up as is. Item number 5, a badge resub for Cuthbert Longshanks. Fieldless, a Furrison Azure, ermined or winged or. Can that blazon be tightened up?
I looked at that and I couldn't really come up with anything. I share your discomfort.
Well,
and I'm even more uncomfortable about those tiny microscopic ermine spots.
Yeah.
Curiosity, if we exchanged the first or for an and.
Ermined and winged or?
Yes.
A Ferguson, Azure, ermined and winged or. This is a call for wreath, isn't it?
Yeah,
probably.
I think that would be correct, but it might be confusing.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure it will go.
So.
Okay.
Contemplate, however, how that blazon could be misinterpreted. I can't think of anything right off.
Yeah. I tell you what, let's send it up as is and let Wreath sort it out.
Let Wreath make the corrections to the to
the blazon. I also have a note that it was previously returned at Kingdom.
Yes.
So it'll be new, not resub when it goes to the ELOI.
Check.
So, all right. So that is in my notes, which I will send to you at the end of this meeting.
Okay, that will work.
All right. Item number 6, a badge. Dante DePiro. Fieldless, a mullet of 5 points voided and interlaced within and conjoined to an annulet sable. Overall, a peacock feather bendwise argent orbed fert. And Gottfried, I can really hear you breathing.
Say again, over?
Your breathing is very loud. You're breathing directly into the microphone. It's like you're blowing on the microphone. Gawain, I have made note of your point that mullet of 5 is the default, so it just needs to be mullet, voided, and interlaced.
I didn't see any conflicts.
All right.
It's not the easiest thing to make out, but I think a second glance would be sufficient for anybody to see what that is.
Because I can make it out. I mean, yeah, it does a kind of cover, but it seems what. Okay.
Well, and the various pieces of the peacock feather, especially on the color version, they're separated pieces. It's not a solid feather. The bits of that feather could use some preening. Because
do you think that the artist did that on purpose so that the mullet would be easier to make out?
He might have.
Very possible.
I think the submitter himself drew this.
Okay.
I've got no problems with it. That's why I'm going. That's why I wanted somebody to play devil's advocate on the identifiability, because I'm looking at it and going, I can see it pretty clear to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm inclined to say that that's okay. Not great, but it's okay.
Right.
All right. So my notes have that we're gonna kind of tweak the blazon per Gawain's suggestion, and then just send it up. And if Reith doesn't like it, well, okay.
Yep, that'll work.
All right. So moving on, we have item number 7, Gustav of Grimfels. We have a name and a device. His name seems very straightforward.
Despite Grimfels being pretty much extinct.
Oh, it's not.
It is. Grimfels gotten some life back into it.
Oh yes, the Grimfellers are very active.
Well,
very good.
Oh yes.
So they only took a knee for.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm not thinking of Grimfels. I'm thinking of No Mountain.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh no, they're extinct. They're long gone. They're up in Iowa, and we have not as many Iowa groups as we used to.
Yeah. Yep, that's right.
All right, so we're gonna just send the name up as is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now the device, sable on a pale cottist argent, a goutte de larme. So I've got the article A in there twice, and I've got too many S's in cottist.
Check. And is it?
I didn't even see that second A.
Yeah.
I didn't either.
Would it be DE, 2 words like that, or would it be D apostrophe? I mean, this is at this point it's semantics and whatever, but
yeah, it's French. I don't know. I don't know.
Neither.
Yeah.
If we just take the S's and the S and A out.
Yeah, we'll just So anything about the design itself? Any problem with the design itself? That's a very nice
easy to identify.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Excuse me. Sorry. So I'm going to go ahead and make those blazon tweaks, and then send up as is. All right. Okay. Okay. So item number 8. Name Gwen Virtue.
Pulling out of a single document of Tanguistles, and she's spot on.
Yep, this is going to get a nice name, I betcha.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to send that up as is. Moving right along, submitter number 9, a name and device for Hamlinus Hamlin. First, his name.
Well, I didn't see any problems with it.
Do I need to say something about something from Cena Appendix A saying patronymics can be unmarked in English names? Do I need to specify that?
Need probably not, but I do it anyhow, just for the obvious portion of it to pull it out.
All right. So what is that? That is number 9. Where are we? We're on number 9.
Right.
Okay. All right. Mention Cena Appendix A allows for unmarked patronymics.
So Hamlin. Okay.
I'm see that the device cancels on the name.
Does it?
Yeah, there's no rats on the device.
You're all gone.
And a lot of stabby things if you want to go that way.
The Pied Piper led all the rats away. Yes. Okay, so for the device, sable, on a chevron between 3 crosses, botany, fichy, argent, 5 daggers, inverted gules, a bordure, guerini of 6, gules and argent. So people were concerned about needing more details on the daggers.
They do look an awful lot like crosses.
They do, sadly.
Well, so should I make tweaks, get the submitter's approval, and basically rebuild the forms
There's
with
a little bit of internal detailing in sable would be really all that it would take, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and at the same time, we'll be circumventing a lot just by doing that.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so I will add just a little detailing. I will get the submitter's approval,
right,
and then we can send it up. Okay. Add a little detail. At submitter's approval. Send up. Okay. And the apostrophe goes where it goes. All right. Cool. So that was number 9, the device. And now item number 10, a name and device for Helena of Tor. So I will start by saying that she has been Helena of Tor just forever. And it is very important that she is Helena of Tor, not Helena de Tor.
Right.
And I'm thinking that the Lingua Societatis will be enough to change D to of.
I think it's amusing that she's documented in 2 languages, both of which use day.
And both of which this is me doing overkill because this is so important to her.
Yeah.
No, that's why we do the overkill, because it usually is super important to the
Yeah, I'm the herald of record here, and when I announced in the Canton of Aston Tor meeting that I had managed to document the name she wanted, the whole canton broke out in cheers.
Oh,
nice.
It's that important. So,
yeah.
So I guess we'll just send it up. Now, her device. Per Ben Sinister, Azure and Sable, a mouse rampant conturny, and a unicorn rampant within a bordure embattled argent.
I wish that those charges could be drawn larger. I don't have any suggestions as how to do that, but they just look so tiny.
And whether you're per bend or per bend sinister, one of them is going to look very nice against the line of division, and the other one is going to look perpendicular.
If the both critters were conturny, you could make it work.
Yes,
but that's asking a little much, and who knows if that might run into a conflict.
Yeah, so it's just going to be up to her to draw them to be identifiable. on her banner or heraldic garb or whatever.
I don't think this is as is. I don't think this
No.
is going to bounce for that reason.
No, at most I would expect it to have an artist note,
Yeah,
but that's it.
maybe not even that.
Maybe not even that.
Well, yeah, I mean, if they have an artist note, I hope they have maybe some suggestions. Yeah. Well, so, okay, so let's just send this one up as is. Oh, and here is one that has images that go with the submission. So this is reminding you, Gottfried,
To pay
when
attention.
you create the ELOI from the internal, watch to see, because if I think that the images are supposed to transfer automatically, and if they don't, I think you'll need to have chat with Istvan and ask him about it.
I shall. I'll take note of that.
Thank you. And I'll try and remind you again.
Yep.
All right. So moving right along, we have for 11 a device for Yoruna Refsdottir. And that is Perpale Embattled Argent and Vert, a Brown Horse Proper, and a Fox Argent Combatant.
Well, that brown is so dark. I wish it could be a little bit lighter brown, but I'm sure that's not sufficient to bounce it.
And I am sure that she used, Crayola markers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might have to let's put a note in there that if you are positive, because it does look sable to me, and if I go into the click on it and enlarge it, then yeah, it's brown. But let's do a little attestation in there, and then again.
Does it look like Oscar's color version is actually sable?
Yes, it does.
That suggests that brown is awfully dark.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to attest that the horse, because I'm looking right at I can pull out the original.
Oh yeah.
Attest that the horse was colored with Crayola marker. You want me to pull out the? Let's see. Here we are.
Oh, I don't expect to see it looking any different from what's on here, and that's fine.
No.
Okay.
It's just it would be nicer if it were lighter brown.
Okay. Well, we'll send it up, and we'll just hope for the best.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, here's something, and when she originally submitted this, she walked up at a consult table, and I think she had been doing some consulting with somebody else, and she walked up to the table with the forms all filled out, and it had just a plain Perpale line. And I didn't notice it till I got home the next day and looked at it, and I said, oh, marshalling. So I contacted her, and she provided this, with the embattled. But you see that all the embattlements are on the Dexter side.
Oh, so they are. I didn't notice that.
Yep.
The question is, do we need to redraw this so that the embattlements are centered on the center line? And if we're doing that, I'll just ask Logan Monroe, because he's my heraldic artist and he's amazing, to draw it with just a little bit lighter brown on the horse.
Yeah.
Why don't we?
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
The way the line's drawn, and somebody in the college certainly will and complain about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know who.
Yeah.
I can think of a couple possible candidates.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's do that anyhow, because we've got, oh heck, what is today?
The 25th. Yeah, so we've got more than a week. Well, we got about a week.
Actually, about 2, because I wouldn't publish until probably the 8th or 9th. And
oh, well, because we've sort of been aiming for the 5th. We've sort of been shooting for the real early in the month.
Yeah. But the 8th puts me on Friday.
Okay. Well, I will, because I did mention this to the submitter,
Right.
and so she's like, you know what, do what you need to do. So I am certain that once I get Logan Monroe to redo this, and I'll send it to her for her approval, and which I'm sure she'll give.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so let me make all of those notes. Okay, so instead of just sending up, I'm just going to say that new artwork from Logan Monroe. Center the embattlements. Color horse lighter. Oh, spelling? Who cares about spelling? We're going to color that hose whatever color we want. There we go. So color the horse lighter brown, and of course get approval.
Right.
Okay. Well then. Okay. That will do. I tell you what, if Logan Monroe ever decides that he doesn't want to play in the SCA anymore, I'll be in a world of hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I regularly end my emails to him with, please don't ever get hit by a bus. All right. Okay. So he's pretty awesome. And all right. So we can move right along. Item number 12, a device for Kitta Christensdottir. Per chevron, sable and argent, a chevron counterchanged between 2 plates and 2 dragon's heads adorsed, conjoined at the neck, vert. And we have a letter of permission to conflict from her mother.
Do you know right off, without looking it up, what her mother's device looks like?
Why,
Yeah, I
yes.
just clicked on the letter.
Oh, well, the copy that I have, I can't read the letter. I'd have to go dig out.
Per chevron, sable and argent, a chevron counterchange between 2 rondels, argent, and a ruster.
Okay.
Rules.
No problem.
Interesting. She's got a Ruster Ghouls. Does she even need a permission to conflict?
Yeah.
Why?
Because technically the primary charge is the chevron.
Yeah.
So it's not all that's changing. Let me take a look at this again. Open it on the tab. Okay. All right. Per chevron, sable and argent, which is the same thing as this. Per chevron, yes. 2 rondels, argent. Right. Rondels are, yeah. The only difference is the dragon heads and the ruster, and those are part of a secondary charge group, not the primary.
You have, I think you have number, type, and tincture of half of your secondary charge group. Because this is 2 dragon heads, so there's number. They're dragons, not ruster, and they're green, not red.
I was looking at those dragon's heads as a single charge. If you count them as a double charge, as 2 charges, then there's no question.
Right.
It's still type and tincture. That's still your 2 CDs.
I'd still be inclined to send off that
Totally.
letter permission.
It won't hurt.
No, it won't hurt. But yeah, I was thinking about that. It's like, okay, yeah, we'll send everything. The unredacted letter is in the docs.
Check.
So so it's all where it needs to be. So I will simply just note that we're gonna send it up. All right, item number 13, a device for Lee Jun Kwan. Per Bend Sinister, Sable and Ghouls, a Crane Rousant Conturny Argent, and a Natural Tiger Rampant or Marked Sable. the item, the charges in the co-primary charges are more or less combatant or
Right.
respectant. They're really combatant. He showed me videos of cranes kicking the beak
Yeah.
out of tigers.
Yep. Who? Yeah, I'll have to put in the note for the SFPP. But who? This isn't. Who's the submitter that did the Chinese?
Oh, that's Renjia. You're thinking
Okay,
of Renjia.
thank you. I
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure it wasn't the same.
No,
Gotcha. Okay.
no, different guy.
Okay.
Yeah, Li Jun Quan is down in, I want to say Oakhart, or is he over in Standing Stones? Anyway, yeah, different guy.
Okay. So then, absolutely new device, not any kind of a resub or anything. Okay.
Right. All right, so I will make a note about the SFPP, and then we can move right along.
Yep.
And let me tell you, 14 and 15 new order names. I got nothing. So Magmore, Barony of, new order name, Order of Citizen of Magmore. And I see that it isn't not Order of the Citizen. It's just Order of Citizen of Magmore. No idea.
I'm a little uncomfortable with leaving out the article there, but
yeah,
I made a comment, as you know, and somebody from Magmore responded and explained that what the justification was, and I withdraw my complaint on that one.
No.
Well, I didn't know if either or both of you were being facetious about citizenship, but
it's an interesting idea that the barony is putting out, and
yep. So this really is a test case.
Yeah, and if nothing else, I know. I mean, I can go into so many entries in Reichenmacher, and anywhere it says Bürger de and gives a town, it's really legitimately saying citizen of this township. So it's not without precedent.
But that's not an award. That's just a statement of fact, right?
This is true, but if that's where they're trying to say, hey, this is a label, is it going to make a difference between being an award order and a label that they would give a person?
Well, no, they're submitting it as an award. Okay. But they also, Adierna very clearly pointed out that this might not be registrable because it's too generic. So.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll make sure that that's in my notes.
And it's right there in the notes in the submission.
Yep.
It's not part of the comments. It's part of the submission.
Okay.
So, okay. So let's just send that one up. Similar question, number 15, a new order name for the Barony of Magmore. It is Valiant of Magmore, Order of the. So it's Order of the Valiant of Magmore. Now, I kind of love Order of the Valiant, but registrable?
You saw my comment,
Yep.
and I have not done any further research to find something comparable that's been registered. Juliana's article did not include anything that I would consider as comparable to the Valiant.
Yeah.
Yeah, and abstract quality, that's... I don't know. I hate order names. I just find them terribly confusing. So let's just send it up as it is.
Yeah, I think the both of these are going to wind up throwing it against the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah. All right. Moving. So, okay. So my notes just say send that up. All right. Moving along. Submitter number 16, a new name for Marion Beardsley. Once again,
yep.
Single entry in Family Search.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good.
And again, it's not somebody you ever heard of.
Right. All right, so mark that as just send it up as it is.
Absolutely chronologically and locative compatible. Oh, wait.
Right, excessive, what is it? Excessive compatibility.
Yeah, excessive periodicity. There
Yeah.
you go.
Okay, so item number 17, a device for Markov Volkel. Yeah, come on, let's learn to talk. Markov Volkart von Thüringen. And the blazon is quarterly argent and ore, a bend gules, and overall a cross formy sable. And I see your note, Gawain, and I'll change the blazon.
I whine about that a lot, as you know.
Okay by me.
Yeah. I wouldn't have known that distinction between the overall and surmounted by, to be honest.
Well, it's not that often that it comes up, but there are situations where those one blazon would be correct and the other one wouldn't be.
Well, so thinking about the peacock feather over the annulet voided and interlaced conjoined with, I think of that annulet voided and interlaced conjoined, or the mullet voided and interlaced conjoined with an annulet. I think of that as one charge, but really it's two.
I do too.
Right.
So is that where the peacock feather is overall, or would that peacock feather also be surmounting the mullet?
I don't think that you could. That's not as clear cut a distinction in my mind.
Okay.
Okay.
And overall is not wrong there.
Okay.
All right.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Cool.
But there are situations where you could have something that would be different if you said overall versus surmounted.
Okay.
So anyway.
Well, and at any rate, it's a call for wreath.
Yeah.
All right. So, I'll make that blazon change and send it up. All right. Item number, 18. A new badge for Reinhard Krug. Ghouls, a broad arrow or between two stags attires argent. And Zanita free-handed this at 12th Night, and I am just so impressed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice and clean and easy to identify.
Absolutely.
And there's no question that is one great big broad arrow, and those attires are small enough to not be confused, but big enough to be recognizable.
Yep.
All right, so number 18, send it up. Number 19, we have a name and a device. First, the name is Sata Takazao. And I don't know if it's properly pronounced Takazu or Takazo, but I do know the submitter's going to pronounce it Takazao. So he's fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's all from Solveig's little pamphlet.
Yep.
Which I no longer have a copy of, so I didn't see anything about that.
You totally should have kept that. You want me to send it back to you? I can lay hands on it, and I can put it in a box and send it back to you.
No, don't. Get it to somebody who is more actively commenting than I am, who can use it.
Okay. All right. I will do that.
And surname Nonori. Doesn't get any better than that.
Right. And they're within 4 years of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So the new device, and this may be the defining instance of an Uchiwa. Mm-hmm. So Azure on an Uchiwa Argent 2 Cherry Blossoms Ghouls. We have pictures of Uchiwas. We have a lot of pictures. We have descriptions from a book about arms and armor showing that an Uchiwa wasn't just a fan. It was a piece of
Yeah.
It was a weapon or a military thing. And then Constantia came through with a photo showing an Uchiwa as an armorial element.
Yep.
So I think that satisfies Cena A2B4A, non-European armorial elements.
Yes, I think it's just yet another one that we'll have to. This one looks like a piece of fruit cut in two on a stick. It really
does. It does.
Well, it was.
But
it was
that doesn't keep it from being registrable.
No.
Yes, we are heralds, not art critics. Although Modar brought up the question of whether these cherry blossoms were good enough. And again, new artwork. Logan Monroe is good, and he's the trifecta. He's good, he's fast, and he's cheap.
They do look an awful lot like blobs.
Oddly enough, they look like plumeria to me.
The thing is, the line drawing shows the petals a little more clearly.
Yeah.
And if the color drawing just had those outlines of the petals a little more darkly drawn, I think that would probably make this a lot more registrable.
Well, if you click on the image, you can see that the outline in black still comes through. However, it's not very thick.
Yeah.
So.
Well, okay, so it seems like we've got some options. It's obviously a flower of some kind.
Yeah.
Modar's question is whether it's sufficiently cherry blossom.
I haven't done any looking on cherry blossoms to even see if they have 5 petals.
I think they do.
Do they?
I think they do.
Okay.
So a couple of options is I could take a black Sharpie, not a fat marker, but a black Sharpie, and do the internal lines a little better.
I would be satisfied with that. It might not satisfy somebody up the line, but it certainly would satisfy me.
And get the submitter's approval, of course. And the other option is just ask Logan Monroe to redo the whole thing.
Well, we've got enough jobs for him.
I was just going into Mist Home to see if they had any kind of image, and no.
By the same token, you could just Google for images of cherry blossoms.
Yeah.
Cherry blossom image. Yep, I think they have 5. They do have 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm about to sneeze. Oh, no. Okay, got it. Thank you. But yes, they're a 5-petaled flower. This is a 5-petaled flower. I would hate for the Uchiwa to be returned because the flower wasn't sufficient.
Yeah, I think outlining those is a must.
Well, outline them or get really high quality images from Logan Monroe.
Yeah.
Well, we got 2. We got 2 already in the comments.
All right, so let me ask Modar instead of Logan Monroe.
Right.
That's cool. I can do that. All right, this is, what are we on? We're number 19D. Okay.
Yeah.
Get new artwork from Modar.
Yeah, and he's got 2 options.
Approval from submitter. There. All right, we will ask Modar. I wonder if Modar or anybody is overwatching the YouTube and posting comments, because I always forget to look.
Oh, I don't think we got any.
That's what we get for having only 3 people in this.
Exactly.
We're like we're more than halfway through.
Oh, by the way.
Oh, by the way, you know what? I tell you what, we don't have anybody watching the YouTube channel watching for comments. If you have comments, the letter doesn't close until midnight tonight. Send me emails. I will take your comments under advisement. So there.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it for item number 19. I have get new artwork from Modar, get approval from the submitter, and send it up so that the cherry blossoms are not a bar to registration of the Uchiwa. I mean, they might decide not to register an Uchiwa, but I would hate for it to be the cherry blossoms are the limiting factor.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's submitter number 19, name and device. Moving on. Submitter number 20, a name and device for Vigdis Ulrich's daughter. Ulrich, we took the Anglo-Saxon documentation for Ulrich. I'm pretty sure that the genitive of Ulrich is Ulris, or Ulrises, or whatever. And Dotor that's the Saxon form of that. And Old Norse and Anglo-Saxon are compatible per Cena Appendix C.
And I remember to set you aside, I remember seeing either Alric and Alrices or something exceptionally similar going through that same change to the genitive. So I'm that backs that up.
That was Bree Cherick's wife.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
And that was just a month or 3 ago. Yeah.
Submissions are starting to meld into one anymore.
Okay, so if we're good with the name,
yes.
All right, then the device is Argent, a boar's head kabossed ghouls, and on a chief embattled sable, the runes Algies, Tiwas, Sawulo, Algies, Tiwas, and Sawulo, Argent. And yes, I got the names wrong. So it's really Tiwas, Algies, Sawulo, Tiwas, Algies, and Sawulo.
Yes.
Somebody was concerned that might spell something inappropriate. I can't remember, and I don't have that handy.
She thought it would spell testes.
Oh, gee.
And no, the submitter wasn't going for that. She just likes these runes, and she wanted 2 of each.
Oh. And we've seen submitters before who've tried to pull some interesting things. So it's a legitimate concern, but it's been properly, I think, attested to that it does not spell.
So my notes that I have here are that I'm going to reblazon to correct the names of the runes and send that up. All right. Moving along. Vincent DeVere, his new alternate name and a badge to go with it. Alternate name, Brock Square Poo. All of the name elements are surnames, and he's either got 2 given names and 1 surname, or one given name and 2 surnames. But they're all from Family Search. They're all late period.
I got no problem with the name.
All right. All right, then. So we're going to send the name up as is. Now the device, or excuse me, the badge. Argent, a badger rampant regardant sable, and a bordure denticulata ghouls. Because it is true that wombats make square poops. And when he heard that, when Vincent learned that, he just could not stop laughing.
Well, it would this would be a lot better if you draw a badger.
Well, do we think this doesn't look like a badger?
I think it. How do you recognize a badger from some other similar animal?
Usually the markings, isn't it? The
Yeah.
facial markings.
Which do not exist here.
Correct.
No, I think that desperately needs a redraw.
Well, I can pen them both because they kind of need to go up together. We
Yep.
can see if we can get a redraw either before the external goes out, and if we can't get it before the external goes out, we'll see about just holding it off one more month.
Yep, we'll park it. If it doesn't go, if it's not in time for this, I'll park it.
Do we consider this to be a return for redraw, or is this a pen for redraw?
I'd call it a return myself, but that's me.
I'm fine with that. The fact is that we might get a redraw really quick.
Yeah. Again, that's all the better.
Here's maybe it's just a semantic thing with me. I'm thinking if there, in my head, I equate returns with when it comes back into the system, it has to go through one more month of internal processing, whereas a pend is just, it can go right onto the external. Am I incorrect in thinking like that? Because if that is the way it is, then yeah, I say if nothing else, we pend it for the redraw and send it out, because it doesn't necessarily need to go back through another internal at that point. We're just holding on until we can get the pictures out the door.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so the question is, if we get new artwork, do we need to send it through another month of internal commentary in order to get everybody, as many people to look at it as can be, to say, yes, this is an acceptable badger? And on the third hand, has anybody actually clicked on the links that Modar posted? See, I think that this badger does not look any worse.
No,
okay. Here's the deal. On the first one, I just clicked on the top link where it's not marked in blazon, and they're right. If you look at the Brock, at the badger in Winfled's device, it is a badger argent, and even though it's not marked, the markings
You're
are
right.
visible.
There's a line. There's internal detailing where if this badger were black with white markings or white with black markings, that's where the markings would go.
Right.
Well, in that case,
this could be a bear, as far as I'm concerned. This what he submitted.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the tail's not going to do it.
Yeah.
The tail's not distinctive enough. You're right. It could very well be a bear.
Well, okay. So this is not going to go on the next external letter. Well, it could go on the next external letter if we get artwork returned to us quick enough.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So I'm going to kind of say the name is going to pen until the artwork is received, and also the badge here is going to pen until we get new artwork. Okay.
Right.
I can take point on the artwork, Dorcas.
Oh, hi. How
sorry.
do you do?
I just joined. I
Okay.
just joined in time for this one, and this was the one, I'll be honest, I was getting on for. So,
good timing.
Yeah. So I can take point on that with Zenita and Sinister Herald as well. So
Lovely.
so we're
Great.
just looking for something more badger-like.
Yes.
Or if nothing else, the markings on the face which would if you had that critter right there, but you definitely had the markings in the face that identify it specifically as a badger.
Yeah, I believe we were worried because of the argent background, the argent field, that would be more of an issue having them, the white markings on the face,
I think
since
in the
they'd be
past,
against the white field.
yeah, I get that, but I think in the past, Laurel and Wreath have even come back and said that because of that kind of marking, that kind of detail on the animal that's very distinctive, it being on argent, there's sufficient of the animal otherwise to tell what it is. It won't get lost.
And also the markings are they're full on the face and the head. They're not up against the edge of the critter.
Right.
But in its current profile, in its current depiction, with the head garden, whatever, regardant. Thank you. The majority of the marking would be along the top of the snout.
No, I think the markings will go around the eye. I'm looking at the other examples, and the markings seem to be centered on the eye.
Yeah. If I would direct your attention to Red Hawk's commentary, the second link that he had to Isolde Michel's device.
Sorry, I was just looking up something real quick. I was trying to remember where we found that badger.
No, sure.
I don't remember where we found that specific depiction, but let me look at Red Hawk's depiction. Results, you're saying?
Yes, Isolde de Michel device. It's the second link that he has in his comment.
Okay, so it'd be a white marking there instead of black, but
precisely.
Okay.
Lovely. Thank you so much for taking that on.
Would that even be? I mean, obviously it's new artwork, but would that even be a technically?
So Gottfried
is marking
says that he's
blazonable?
It may not necessarily be a blazonable detail, but it is definitely identifiable detail.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine.
Gottfried says he's probably going to get the external letter out the door on, say, March the 8th, because he likes doing it on a Friday.
Yes.
So you've got, like 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah, that should be fine. We meet on Wednesday, so I will verify with them. And I don't see that being an issue with either the submitter or the other consultors.
Excellent.
Okay.
Because this was kind of a group effort.
And I repeat my comment, you kids get off my lawn.
Were there any
I ever sent you a copy of the picture of a badger yard party?
Oh my God.
Oh no.
Somebody that, it's easy to tell it's England. Somebody went out in their backyard and took a picture, and there must be 24 badgers there and a cat. And the cat has its back to the camera. I wish I could see the expression on that cat's face.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I apologize. Was there any commentary regarding the name that I should be?
Nope. We have no problem with the name.
Okay.
We think that whoever thought that poo might be offensive, seriously, they can get off my lawn too.
I'm okay with that.
All right, so we can move on to item number 22, the device change for William Fletcher of Carberry The blazon will be the same. Well, no, it won't be. Okay, per bend, azure and gules, a bend or between 3 arrows in pale fesswise reversed and a costrel palewise argent. And it gives me great joy to say that since everything is really already registered, there won't be any Unity issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All we're doing is changing out one item for the next.
Well, and that next item is going to be another one that we're going to have to put in the documentation.
Well,
because I don't care if there's a coat of arms that has one of these things on it. We don't have an English name, heraldic name for it, and we're going to need one.
Except, isn't costrel from the Middle English Dictionary?
it is.
So that's an English term for that item.
Okay, that's an English term for that item, but do we know if that item only looks like this, or it looks like a lot of other things? And I'm just very concerned that we have a term, a blazon here, that will be reproducible by somebody who hasn't seen the device.
Well,
that's what we shoot for.
In the discussion of his previous reblazon attempt, Gottfried, in fact, posted some links, and I have reposted a couple of the links that I think are the most relevant. And the German one really looks an awful lot like what's on the device example.
Oh, I would assume that it was copied from that German one.
Yeah. So my thought is that a couple of images plus the picture of the arms, I would think that would be sufficient.
No, I'm not convinced, but if you want to go ahead and send it through, I'm not going to object.
Well,
End of test cases.
I was going to say, I have a feeling this client is more than happy to be test casing this.
Yeah.
He really wants this style of, if I remember correctly, he is very intent on getting what he wants. So,
yep.
I got no problem with that. But we to document the charge and a term for the charge.
Well,
and I don't think we've done that yet.
Actually, I'm looking here. Hobbix put in a whole a segment in there where it's specifically from the Middle English Dictionary, where it is that item is called a costrel. So we can say,
but
yep.
We don't have a picture from that dictionary to see.
All right, I take
you know, a cup. We can blazon a cup. We have a term for it in the dictionary, but there's a lot of different shaped cups.
Yes.
And this is a.
I think this one at this point might be, Pelican's
wreath.
Or wreath. Thank you, wreath's call. But I understand where you're coming from, Gwen. Though I do understand that. I think it's a test case that's worth sending up.
And I do want to basically summarize the commentary and provide as much support as we can for this artifact.
No, always. No.
Yeah. So, okay, so that's essentially what my notes say. We're gonna forward this as a test case, and we're gonna include Gottfried's images and summarize internal commentary and support for this defining instance. Can I spell instance? Of a costrel. There. Okay. Because it sure can't hurt to do that.
Nope.
Okay. The last submitter on this letter a badge for Isabel de la Hoya. Excuse me. She's got tools, a wheel of cheese fesswise within a braid of garlic in annulo argent.
I just
Now-
have to. Oh,
Yeah?
sorry. I was gonna say I just have to ask, just because heraldry, is she in any way related or John Cheesy or Chessie?
No.
Okay.
She's the garlic cheese apprentice.
Okay. Well, it just thinking, because of the other heraldry, it's not a maternal link or
There's
familial
not
link.
like a cheese mafia.
What? Exactly. Where I was kind of going,
So no, she's not related to him. Neither is she related to the other person who is from Callantyre, who was the defining instance of a wheel of cheese 2 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
So no relation, just cheese.
Just a cheese mafia.
We are Callantyre.
Okay.
We tend to be. We are Callantyre. We tend to be cheesy in all matters.
Uh-huh.
I think that redraw was really a good job on that.
Yep.
I do.
Yes, I'm very glad that Modar found the braid, and so yeah, Logan Munro just did it, and I have the new forms, so we can do this with this new artwork.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Do we? Once again, this will be the defining instance of a braid of garlic. Do we need to? Well, we probably should include the arms of, who is that? Duresta and Di Giranzano. Giovanni, help me out. Who are those people?
De Girenzano, probably.
Thank you.
So we've got an example of a braid of garlic?
Yes.
Oh, great.
Examples.
Yes.
One, it looks like one is used as a bend.
Yes.
And one is used in chief fesswise.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, it's on. That's a per fess field.
Well, yeah,
but yes.
Yeah. I'm wondering what is below, or what is below the braid on Duresta?
Well, it could be one of.
It's a lemon slice. It's an orange slice.
I might have to go look that one up.
Yeah. Because I'd say it could be a wheel. It could be, but yeah.
It would be hilarious if it was supposed to be kind of like a wheel of cheese or something.
Oh my God. That would be. Oh my God.
But no, I love the use of it as the bend. That was beautiful. Yeah. We may have to show her that.
She's a herald. She's seen them.
Oh, okay, good. So, but yes, either so putting it in annulo, though, we don't think that will be an issue, since we're defining the charge in the first place.
I don't.
Oh, that's a good question.
Because obviously, there's no issue with putting certain long charges in annulo necessarily. However, this is the defining instance of the charge, and we only see it in long, thin, etc., etc.
Ooh.
Not that I want to derail this. This is just a devil's advocate moment.
Yes.
Okay. Have we seen wreaths or other things that we currently have, or chaplets, as being used in bend?
No, but the example that I can think of is a stag's attire. They're normally this straight thing with the tine sticking out, but you can also take a stag's attire and twist it around in annulo.
That's true.
True. The other thing that I would think of would be something like a What is
Matter of fact, Dorcas,
Mhm.
that's brilliant.
I am,
Also,
yes.
The only other question I would have is to define the defining instance of a charge. Do we need 3, or is 2 going to be sufficient? 2 examples.
Well, for an IAP, they like 3.
Yeah, but a defining instance is not. Okay, what was the name of the person with the defining instance of the Wheel of Cheese? Let me go and everybody try and find her. I mean, she was within the last. I mean, she's certainly got to be an Oscar.
Yeah.
Wheel of Cheese.
Where's my O and A?
Hedwig Sophian. All right. Wheel of Cheese. Okay, so let me tell you, this was in 2012, and there was kind of almost sort of no documentation in support. There was one picture that Modar had. He had a picture of a shop with wheels of cheese on the shelves.
Okay.
And the only question was, where should a wheel of cheese has a wedge cut out. So where should that wedge be?
Okay. So a more recent, although not specific to Palantir example, I just did a Google search for defining instance SCALOAR and found a more recent example of a defining instance of the nail puller, a Japanese charge from the January 2018 letter, so only a year ago, out of Antir. And I have to pull up the.
Does it say what the name is?
Kumata, Kumata. If that doesn't help, I can give you the rest of the name.
Yeah, no, we have the only Kumata, Kumata, just has a name, not a device in Oscar.
This was a name change and a badge. So try the name Raher, Raher.
Oh, I see.
Fitzranulf.
I'm going on the.
I'm just trying to see what the documentation was.
Oh, okay. So I see. Wow.
This was on a Palantir letter.
No, this
Negative
was the Antir letter for that
I haven't got those.
Yeah, this would have been defined in January 2018 was the letter.
So the Oscar, the Antir external letter of October 18th, 2017, and the name, if you're in Oscar and want to search, is Raher, Raher, space, Fitz, space, Ranulf, Rannulf.
Yes.
And I am looking at it, and I have no idea what a nail puller even is.
It would, yeah. Interesting.
This is a Pentax submission. Documentation was missing. The coloring has been fixed. New documentation provided.
Okay, so that's not helping us all that much.
Well, so the nail puller is that Delph voided.
Okay.
So that particular picture has 4 nail pullers.
Right.
So
the squares.
Yes.
Because the letter specifies this defining instance of the nail puller, a Japanese charge attested to the 15th and 16th century by Solvig from Daibukan, a collection of military registries. It doesn't specify other than that as the source as to how many examples or whatever. So I don't know. It does specify those nails. Nail pullers are often found in sets of 4, arranged 2 and 2, as is found here. Those nail pullers may be connected by thin strips, as in this submission, or not. The difference will not be blazoned and will not contribute to difference. And then it specifies the carrying a step from period practice as an outside European. So I don't know if that helps us in this case.
Well, and it was registered.
True.
So what I think is that they hashed it out in commentary, and I think we can basically summarize everything that we have on this for a braid, a garlic braid. Summarize what we have, and if they want more, we can give it to them in external commentary.
Okay. Oh, I think I may have found something to help us.
Yes, please.
In an slightly older letter, this one was which letter? Looks like August of 17. Again from Ontier, there is a badge for odor, ODDR, Thialson. This is the defining instance of a head of Hercules. The charge is found on the arms of Defenages, but it only is looking like it's specifying one example.
Yeah. Interesting.
So I'm looking at the. Oh, look at that!
Is it just a single example provided?
Right. I don't see other heraldic. The other thing that we have is from a painting of a naked man, and but yes, as heraldry, there's only the one example, de Fenoges.
Yes.
So.
Okay. If they're going off of one example, I'm perfectly fine with. I'm not that I wasn't perfectly fine with it before, but I don't see there being an issue with 2 examples.
Yes. Yes.
From contemporary heraldry too.
Awesome.
So, yay.
Okay, so let's go ahead and wrap that up. We're gonna use Logan Monroe's artwork, and we're going to summarize everything we can for a defining instance of garlic braid in annulo, because of course in period garlic braid, the examples that we have, they're in a straight line, but like I say, we will send them what we've got and hash it out in commentary.
And that's what I was saying. That note that you had about Stag's attire being able to be bent in annulo, that I don't want to miss that point.
Okay. All right. Mention Stag's attires in annulo. Okay, so I believe that we have made all of the items on this letter. I'm going to go back to the top and read my notes, and if I have forgotten to write anything down, stop me. Okay, so up here, item number 1, the device. We're going to summarize Sophia's examples into an IAP and send up. I'm also going to say that Dorcas will do this. Okay, Dorcas will take point. Item number 2, the badge, we'll send it up. Number 3, the name, send up as is.
I've completely lost your sound.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I've got nothing as well.
Nothing yet, Dorcas. Nothing yet. She's had success with this in the past, but it doesn't seem to be working right now.
Yeah. Was there a mute button on the headset? That okay, press on that blue button. It doesn't go on and off, because on mine, if I and now I'm not muted.
Nothing yet, Dorcas.
Got it. Yeah, we made it at least through the letter. Walamatov. Yeah. This is the placard where we would have the summarization of the notes that happened, but oh, did you on your notes? Did you do your notes by hand, or did you do your notes in a digital form?
She always does them digital, I believe.
That's what I thought. Then if you can take that notes, send it to the group chat or somehow, and I'll pick it up. I'll read the notes off. Got it. Perfect.
And while she does that, if for anyone who might see this or for those on the chat currently, just a reminder that the Known World Heraldic and Scribal Symposium is being held in Calentier this year, and I am serving as proceedings editor for this year's proceedings, and I would greatly appreciate any and all submissions, because I currently have none. So if anyone has an idea for a submission, even if it's a rough idea, I'd be happy to help them expand their idea. Please feel free to contact me. My information is available through the Known World Heraldic and Scribal Symposium website.
Okay. And I've got the notes, and we went through. Okay, we were on number 4. Is that not correct?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I think she was going
I
on
see 6. Okay. All right. Then, going on with number 6, the notes read as follows. Reblazon as fieldless, a mullet voided and interlaced within and conjoined to an annulet sable, over all a peacock feather bendwise argent orbed vert, and send it up. Number 7, the name, just sending it up. Number 7, the device. There's a spelling change. Sable on a pale coteiste, 1S, argent, A, single A, Gout de Lams, and send up. Okay, number 8. The name, send up. Number 9. The name, send up. Mention Senna Appendix A allows for unmarked patronymics. Number 9, the device, add a little detail to the daggers, get submitter's approval, and send it up. Number 10, the name, send it up. Number 10, the device, send it up. Number 11, the device, get new artwork from Logan, center the embattlements, color the horse lighter brown, and get submitter approval. Number 12, the device, send it up. Number 13, the device, mention the step from period practice for a natural tiger and send it up. Number 14, the order name, send it up. 15, the order name, send it up. 16, the name, send up. 17, the device, reblazon as quarterly argent and ore, a bend gules surmounted by a cross-formy sable, and send it up. 18, the badge, send up. 19, the name, send up. 19, the device, will get new artwork, get approval for the submitter, and if it's within the time frame, send up or hold until to the very next external. Number 20, the name, send up. Number 20, the device, reblazon as argent, a boar's head cabossed gules, and on a chief embattled sable, the runes Tiwaz, Algiz, Sowilo, Tiwaz, Algiz, Sowilo, and send up. Number 21, the name, penned until new artwork is received. 21, the badge, penned for redraw. Giovanni, you've got point.
Mm-hmm.
Number 22, the device, send up. I'll include some more of the images and summarize internal commentary as support for the defining instance of a costrel. Number 23, the badge, send up with new artwork and support for this defining instance of a garlic braid, and mention the stag's attires in annulo. Okay. Failing that, the next decision meeting I'm showing will be slated for Monday, the 25th of March at 2019. And I think, did I miss anything? Okay, perfect. Then, on behalf of Dorcas Ayas and myself, thank you very much for helping us with this, and we will see you next month. Adieu.
Good evening.